hopefully this will cover the cost of the repairs to the tractor and maybe allow us to buy a bit of fertilizer. Servicing for the tractor is going to cost 5,000. Fertilizer is 3,600. Yep. So fix the tractor, get some fertilizer, and that is just off the barley. Hello and welcome along and welcome back to No Man's Land. It is December. We have skipped over November because, as I mentioned last time, we don't have, we didn't have anything to do. We had completed everything on our farm. Our tractor is in desperate need of repairs, so we're going to be trying to sort that out today. But we've got to do some selling of some crops first, get some money in, and hopefully be able to afford those repairs. We're basically going to be skipping through most of winter this video because there isn't much to do on the farm. We have some fertilizing that needs doing, so we'll probably do that. But if we look today at this, look at the price fluctuations. December is when the barley hits its peak. And if we go to current prices, we can see it's beginning to fall. 646 is the top price. So, yeah, we want to be selling it at this point. The sorghum, which is our other crop, that isn't ready till January. So we're going to be skipping forward for that. We're looking for £939 roughly for that. And if we have a look at our silage as well, which we've got, we're looking at a price of £343 in January for that. And we're at £334 at the moment, actually. So, yeah, we've got about another £10 to go before that hits its peak as well. So we should be selling all of those today. Let's fill this up with the barley. And we're going to take a full trailer full. I think we've got a couple of full trailers here that we can take. Yeah, so we've got 15,000. Yeah, we've got just under 3 full trailers. So this is going to be worth a fair amount of money for us here. So, yeah, let's get this up to the shop and get ourselves going at full pelt. We're also going to keep an eye on the shop and see if anything comes up for sale as well, because, well, we're going to be skipping forward a couple of months, so it makes sense to do it. Now, the wheat is the least well-paying of our crops that we're selling today, so hopefully this will cover the cost of the repairs to the tractor and get us moving forwards and maybe allow us to buy a bit of fertilizer. This first trailer, I'm expecting to clear our current negative debt. And there we go. We're out the other side of that, which is great news. Now we just need to go and grab the next couple of loads, and we'll see where we are after that. I'm not going to hold on to Ellie Barley at the moment. I know we're talking about doing chickens, but for now, I think we're in much bigger need of actually selling the crop. So I've tipped the second load of barley and we're coming up to the third. This is only 2,166 litres because I checked the price of the wheat to buy as chicken feed. It's 1,400 for 1,000 litres. So it makes absolutely no sense to sell all the barley and then spend twice as much as I would get for that to then buy some wheat. So I've not done that. We've held on to 5,000 litres of barley so that we can use that to feed chickens should we get some. What I want to do now, though, is get this tractor repaired because we're up to £8,963. So that should be enough to service this tractor, hopefully. Servicing for the tractor is going to cost 5,000, so that's fine. Leaves us with 3,878. We want to customize our trailer because we're going to take the capacity of it and make it into a flatbed, which won't cost us anything. And then once we reattach that, we can then back this all out and grab ourselves a bag of fertilizer because we have 2 fields on the farm that do need fertilizing today. They should have germinated. We're just going to double check this. So under our map and under here, we'll go across to the fertilizing state. And in fact, everything is at least A level. I think we need 2 bags of fertilizer, actually, to do all of these fields. We've got 1 level. I think they are all just 1st level growth. Yes, so we should be able to go over these fields and get them all fertilized. So that is going to be our 2nd job today. And having forgotten that I need to do that job, I think what we're actually going to find is that we continue this sell-off next time. Because, yeah, we need to get... Oh, wow. Fertilizer is 8. We might be okay here. I need 2 bags. 3,600. Yep, we're okay. So, today's purchasing has managed to fix the tractor and also get us out of debt. Well, immediate debt. And also allow us to get some fertilizer to get those fields done, and that is just off the barley, so I'm quite happy that our barley has gone to that. I also missed 3 other... Oh dear, I forgot the weight. We should really get a... How much is a weight down for the shop, or just a rented one for when we're loading up is probably a good thing. Let's have a look. What do we got here? So a rented weight, just something to offset our tractor a bit. Let's go for a, I think the 1100. What have we got at the moment? We don't have an 1100. We only have a 650. Right, a 650 to lease will cost us pennies. So, yeah, we'll have a shop weight. We'll get that. And that will allow us to get these big bags loaded on when we're down here. Because otherwise, we are just... having absolutely huge problems. Even with the weight on the back of this, you can see how much this tractor is leaning forward. It's not great even with this. The 1,000-pound weight is looks a little bit weird. Right, we want to just park this at the entrance. Don't want to drive back to our farm with this. Yeah, and this will cost us a negligible amount of money to have sitting here. And we can always return it if we remember to bring the shop weight or the weight back. But rather than driving all the way back to the farm, we'll probably spend more in fuel than getting the weight itself. Hook this up. And yeah, we still have a job to do on the farm today that I'd completely forgotten about. And it's across 4 fields as well. So, hopefully, the wheat will pay for everything, or thankfully, the wheat has paid for everything that we needed to do today. Back to the farm with our fertilizer. We'll just pull this up here. There's our weight that we should have brought with us. But we couldn't do that, actually, without connecting the pipes up. So, yeah, not much I could do there. We are going to have to put the weight here on, but not before we've pulled our fertilizer spreader out. And I've actually realized I forgot as well, we've got the lime to sell. I think the lime, the price for that hits in February. So what we'll do, I think, is set up, get this job done today. Get everything cleared on here. We can then jump forwards to January, where we really will be having a big sell-off. We've got the soybeans to sell off in January. We've got any produce in our greenhouse that needs to be sold off in January, because the best price for all of that is then. And then at the end of January, I will start the sell-off, or actually I will set the sell-off for everything in our lime and our stone crusher, all the lime in there, that will then be sold off come February, which should make a big amount of money for us. And then we'll go into the new year and into the spring with just a really, really good setup. And actually, we might start looking at some animals at that point, because there won't be much to do on our farm until harvest comes along. There we go. That is that all loaded in. So I'm going to drop off the weight over here. Like that. Down and off. The other thing we've got to sell as well is straw bales. I haven't looked at the price of straw. Let's pop into here. Price of straw is... best in December. So ideally, we need to get this job done and then sell off our straw bales, because I reckon they're probably at their highest price at the moment. 83, yep, they are at their top price. So we need to load up those straw bales today and get those sold in order to make the most out of that as well. That shouldn't be a problem though, because looking at it, we have plenty of time, and we've got our flatbed set up ready. Perfect. One of the nice things about this fertilizer spreader is it does have a good width on it. Allows us to very easily and very efficiently get around our fields. I wouldn't particularly want a bigger one than this. I think that would probably be counterproductive to our farm. It wouldn't fit as well as this one does. And this one has done us very, very nicely on here. So as a result, it allows us to get a good spread. The width isn't quite right for this field. And actually that tells me a lot about what I want to do with this field. And sort of, we've got space to expand out, or would have space to expand out that way towards those rocks if we bought the next section of land. And yeah, just enlarging this field a little bit to bring that area in. There we go. That is that field all done. Getting these 4 fields fertilized now is going to make a big difference to us in the long run. We are going to be basically set up on all 4 of our fields for next year. Before we even get into next year, it's going to be a case of we're getting into springtime, and we're going to have to try and find stuff to do on our farm to keep us going, or we're just going to skip ahead to harvest. If we could afford to get animals, that would be great. That would give us something to do for the year. We want to really be earning money, because otherwise it's going to be a case of sitting there for months on end, going through to the actual harvest time, and just getting there and being massively in debt. So yeah, I want to see if we can do stuff to tick over and keep everything running each month. And if we can, that would be good. Right, let's have a look at the coverage on this field. We could do it a little bit down this top end here, and there's, yeah, we need to go and do some coverage up there. So what we'll do is come up here and get this covered. And yeah, then we're just going to have 2 more fields to go. And as I said, because of the jobs that we've done today and that we've still got today, looks like we're not going to be moving off this first day as I thought we were. Now, people have suggested that I do these 2 fields as one for work to save the amount of turning around I'm doing. And because of what we're doing today, we're going to do exactly that. I'm going to turn that off and turn it on. There we go. As we go across the road, because I don't really want to spread on the road. But what we can do is come along here. That's not got the animation. Hang on. There we go. Yeah, it was still spreading. It was still putting stuff out, but just wasn't appearing on our on here at all. So yeah, it's a little bit more fluid with this. We've got a little bit more play that we can do. So I'm going to just go the whole way across these and get both these fields done. I am so pleased with how well we've got the farm working this year. despite the fact that we've had a bit of a cash flow issue while we've been waiting to sell stuff, we have managed to keep everything running and functioning and bringing money in on a fairly regular basis. And when it comes to next year, hopefully we're going to be able to get a little bit more done as a result. As I said, we are set up. We shouldn't have to touch our fields now again until harvest next year. It's just going to be a case of cutting the grass and doing any animal work we need to do, depending on whether we get any animals. So our fertilizing of these 4 fields so far has taken less than a single bag of fertilizer. In fact, I'm pretty much thinking, yeah, we've got 67 litres left for a single bag of fert. That is quite astonishing, to be honest, I think. Oh, no, actually, there we go. So I think that's covered it. Let's have a look. Yeah, we've got a small triangle there. We need to do a bit on this headland here. But a single bag of fertilizer of the ones that we bought holds 1,000 litres. I think we had some fertilizer in here initially, because I had more than 2,000 litres at one point. Interestingly. But we've got, yeah, basically 1.5 bags left, and it hasn't taken half a bag of fertilizer to do this. So, yeah, we must have had some fertilizer left. I probably overspent on that. It's not the end of the world. We are gonna need fertilizer at some point in the future. I do have just a section in the middle up here that needs doing. I go through here, and that should then cover that off, and that is our 4 fields all fertilized and done, which means that, yeah, we're in really good place. That has got us all set up. We've done everything we need to do on the farm ready for next year as far as our arable crops go. So I'm going to head back to the farm. We're going to park this up. And then we're going to put the... Well, we're not going to put the flatbed on yet. We're going to put the weight on and start loading the flatbed up with some straw bales and get them sold. I'm not sure how many of these straw bales I'm going to get on here. If we're lucky, we'll get 2 high. And so that will be 8. And then another 6. So... that's 14 bales on here if we play this right, and can get a good stack on here. Might be a little bit fiddly, but we're gonna give it a go. So that's right. I want to get these 2 at the same setup so that I can get them, yeah, there, like that. Perfect. So yeah, if we can get 14 bales on here, that would be great. It's gonna be a little bit fiddly with that, and yeah, it is getting darker earlier at this time of year. So we'll see how well that goes. But we've got a nice stack of bales. A nice stack of bales here for me to play with. Getting them into the right place and not knocking them off the front. That is going to be the tricky part. Still, we'll see what we can do, and hopefully we can get all these sold today. I feel like I've come up against this issue before. This trailer isn't quite long enough to fit 4 bales on it. So it's gonna be yeah, what have we got here? So we've got 6 on here, another 4 on top, so it's gonna be a maximum of 10 bales that we can fit on here. Means we're gonna take a couple of journeys to get this done and get these sold, but that's not the end of the world. We will definitely fit all of these bales on here in 2 loads, and yeah, this will actually make it slightly easier to load them up. with this setup. So not too worried, and should work out for the best and get us a little bit more money in to keep the farm afloat. Last 2 bales to go on our first load. Let's line these up. And onto here. Oh, that's pushing off the back one. Gotta watch it because I want to make sure I don't send the other ones off the other side. That's stable enough. That one isn't quite. Let's see if we can just nudge that on a little bit. There we go. That's sitting a little bit better. There we are. So too high with these. And all strapped down. We'll leave this like so. Although, actually, the other day, that is how I saw a telehandler driving along the road. So spikes up and out the way. He had to put them down to go under a railway bridge, but that does seem to be the way you're supposed to do it. Up and out of the way. And that way, yeah. Nice and safe. And then we can hook these up and take them down to the shop and see how much we get for our first set of straw. And then we've got how many left? Or 7 left after that. So those will easily fit on this trailer. The ideal way for me that this can go would be we get everything sold off, we get through to March, and we get a tractor of around 175 to 100 and 200 horsepower that we can buy. There we go, 4,300. Just as we've got all of our money in March. We're going to be looking for that, and yeah, come March time, that is where we're going to be holding money back for, I think. A second tractor is something we're in desperate need of on this farm. I'm very pleased that we did the fertilizing when we did. The temperature appears to be dropping, and we've got snow forecast. So it's quite possible that a blanket of the white stuff is going to descend overnight. Got just the last 7 bales to load up. 10 last time gave us 4,800. We're looking at then maybe getting another 3,000 off these. Which would, well, that would still be great. That would still give us 7,500. Would give us enough money to pay our loans and keep our head above water until January, when our second half of our big sell-off happens. And we are able to get as much money in as we're going to get on here. We do need to buy a pressure washer. It's one of those things where the state of my combine and my tractor and everything is so mucky, and we don't have one yet. And it's one of those things which I've seen a few people say to me, oh, you should get a pressure washer. Yes, I absolutely should. So we will be getting one of those. Out those. Sometimes, as I've said on here before, you have to just disconnect your front loader tool in order to get everything to work properly. Right, 2 more. Yeah, it's going to be just 1 bale sitting on the top of this to finish this off. Look at that. This is what happens in the winter. The sun sets, the light falls, and you have to get all your work lights on in order to finish off on the farm. But we are going to get all of these jobs done today, which is exactly what I need. Right. 1 more off the top. And so in there like that. I'm actually going to approach this slightly differently. We're going to put this in the middle at the back. We're going to strap all that down first. There and there. We then want to this in the middle at the back. So about, I think we're a little bit far over in our initial approach. There we go. Straighten up a bit. That's much better. Right. Then we can put this in the middle at the back. Like, oh wow, we're still not far enough over. Now we are. It's at a slight angle on our forks is what it is. We can put that there. Strap that down. And then the last two can go on the top. And we can just grab them at the same time because of where they're set up. Need to be a little bit more careful when I back out. Every single time I've taken two from this end while loading these up, I've turned too sharply coming out of here and knocked the bales off the front. So I actually managed to not do that with the last set. That's a small victory, I think. Right. Load these up. On they go. Oh, look at that. That just looks awesome. And then we can drop our weight off the back and take these down the shop and see what we end up with today. Because I think we're in a good place. My money is going down because with money back in the bank, our greenhouses are able to produce stuff again. Which I keep forgetting that you have to have money for your greenhouses to produce. So, yeah, we've had a little bit of a problem because they haven't been producing because there's not been any money to produce stuff with. It has gone 5:30. The sun has set. And we are just about at our sell point. Bring this in. So dark. Undo that, and that. There we go. Another, just shy of £3,000 there. 2,900. No, that was over 3,000. So that's really good. Where does that leave us then? We've made £10,280 today. That's 11,000 from harvest income and 7,354 from our sold bales. Production costs, you can see that's our greenhouses. They're producing quite nicely. And yeah, the 5,000, it's roughly every 3 months we get a big maintenance cost on our tractor, but looking pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. We also have nothing in the shop. There's a Tiger car in here for 11,000. Oh no, 12,000, but that's not actually any use for us. It's a great little utility truck, but yeah, no use for us on here. So we'll keep an eye on that as we move forward, but we're going to be heading to January next time because we've got the soybeans to sell, we've got a load of products to sell from our greenhouses, and the lime needs to, I think the lime is February, so I think it's going to be, oh yes, it's our silage bales is the third thing, and those are going to give us a lot of money. For now though, I'm going to leave this here, so all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.